Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, brought to you by Muscle Tech, and of course, this book, The Bible of Bodybuilding 2, over 700 pages, full of everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and PED use, available on Amazon.com, where you can also find my great book, Real Bodybuilding. And now, joining us from Athens, Greece, please welcome the good doctor, George Touliatos. What's up, George?
1 week left for the Olympia, right?
Yeah, well, we're recording this. I got to let people look at that. Have you been dieting for the Olympia? You've been dieting the whole time. You never stopped dieting. Yeah.
I'll be juicing up.
No, I'm saying you never bulked up. You've been staying lean for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Time to get you fat. maybe when your baby's born, you can start getting fat again. I don't know. We'll see. But good job, man. That's discipline. Eating clean like that every damn day. Oof.
Well, yeah, I think the key factor is to lower the carbs. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, you post a lot on your Instagram meals, and it's always low carbs. So a lot of low carb.
And now that I don't have that much time to work out, I moved my gym to home. I cannot spend time outdoors for the gym. Spend to other clubs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm missing a few trainings. So the good scenario is to train every other day. Sometimes I get 7 o'clock in the morning, do 30 minutes of treadmill.
Yeah.
And if I have time, I train also in the morning on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
But I cannot train now regularly on a daily basis because I work 2 shifts. I have 2 offices now.
Oh, wow.
In the afternoon, yeah. And I mean, well, I make money in order to feed my family, but I have to do the sacrifice that I cannot train with the same consistency I used to.
Yeah.
So my diet has to be spot on. And don't junk, Hopefully, I'll train during the Olympia at the hotel.
Oh yeah, they have a good gym there. So your home gym is outside by the pool, right?
It's outdoors. Hopefully, we have 80 degrees now. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yes, I bought a new carpet. It's much thicker.
Okay.
And another thing about for the hyperextensions. Yeah, I miss training with equipment. And frankly, when I go to Florida now, I'm going to train just with equipment.
Oh yeah, great gym. Yeah, if you're in Florida, there's so many great gyms in Florida. All right, let's get into some questions, doctor. We've got a few really good ones this week. I don't know why he asked. He says, "Ron, could you ask the doctor?" You don't have to say that, guys. I'm always going to ask the doctor your question. But here we go. Ask the doctor about the correlation between high steroid cycles and the development of fibrosis on the heart. Are there any human studies showing that 19-nors or testosterone can cause fibrotic tissue?
Well, this is something that a cardiologist told me, that you can have fibrosis even though you don't have a myocardial infarction. I mean, it's a heart attack, because fibrosis occurs, which is scar tissue actually. It means that it's like connective tissue that does not anymore contract and work as a heart. So it happens when the myocardial part of it dies because of hypoxia, because of low oxygen, when the heart attack occurs.
Yeah.
But now the cardiologist, because I had an ultrasound 2 days ago, and he told me with a 3D MRI of the heart, we can see, we can observe some fibrosis of the myocardium. I'm not aware about if the 19-nor cause, and definitely I know that people who die of a heart attack during the autopsy, there is fibrotic scar tissue fibrosis.
Yeah.
Now, certainly the steroids thicken the heart. And when there's a scenario that when the heart is thickened, like the LVH over 15 millimeters, the septum that separates the right from the left ventricle, which are the ventricles pump the blood to the lungs and to the aorta.
Yeah.
Now, when it's thickened a lot, then they may struggle the capillaries that pass through and nourish the heart. So it's not a good scenario to have a thickened heart, because also the capacity of the ventricles is lesser, therefore the ejection fraction is smaller. I'm interested to see the result of my 3D heart to see if there's any fibrosis, because frankly, there has not been any heart attack to myself or acute myocardial infarction. And it could be interesting to see if there is any fibrosis because of the 19-nor that I'll be using in my life. But so far, I can add to the question. I know that fibrosis happens when there is a dead tissue in the heart. It means scar tissue, and this small spot does no longer contracts like a heart. It's a dead tissue. It's whitish appearance.
Yeah. Wow. So typically they only see this in autopsies, or because this is
and also 3D MRIs.
Okay.
It's 3D dimensional of the heart that shows the appearance of the myocardium, how it consists.
Yeah. Good stuff. Now this question we've done variations on, but person wants to know, if we use test and deca, why do we need to use the ratio 2-to-1 for test and deca to avoid deca-dick? And then I added to the question myself, deca-dick, what if you're using like Viagra or Cialis? Do you still get deca-dick regardless, or would that mitigate the whole problem?
Oh, the deca-dick refers just to the libido, which is purely depends on the HPDA and the testosterone. Okay, so there's no need of Cialis or Viagra or Levitra because there's no problem with the blood flow unless you have problems with diabetes or atherosclerosis in the penis.
Okay.
But it has to do with the suppression of the testosterone. That's why, because the 19-nor leads to suppression due to prolactinemia, perhaps progestational activity, and also tremble and bind so tightly to the brain, to the androgen receptor, and such off the HPDA. And the deca also, it aromatizes a little bit. Anyway, Connor said in 6 years ago in the anabolics that the ratio has to be double in order to avoid any lack of libido. If you don't care about that, you can use ratio 1-to-1.
Yeah.
All right.
So the good thing you cleared it up, because ED drugs have no effect on your libido.
No correlation to that. It's just about the libido is the urge, is the desire to have sex, which is cerebral.
Yeah.
Okay.
And which is why a lot of American doctors, they're very quick to prescribe ED drugs, but they're very hesitant to prescribe testosterone. So
that's wrong, because ED drugs,
guys using ED drugs, but they still have low T. So.
No, to elderly people, it has to do with older people that are messed up down with the vascular system. Youngsters should not use ED drugs because they have healthy vessels, okay? But it's so pity and it's pathetic for a young guy to have low testosterone.
Yeah.
250 resembles to somebody who's 80 years old.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I don't think it's a worldwide problem, more in the US. Testosterone levels have plummeted over like the last 50 years. Like kids now have half the testosterone that their grandfathers did.
Yes.
It's awful. No one seems to be worried about it though, but I'm worried. All right, next question. Hi guys, I was wondering if it's possible to get my girlfriend pregnant if I use 125 milligrams test every week with clomid and HCG. I've been on test for at least 3 to 4 years now, but I stopped and now using clomid and HCG, but I feel like crap. And that's where I wonder if it's possible to add a small dose of test.
This guy feels crap because of the clomid. There's no need of clomid when you have HCG. HCG does the whole job. It kicks up the testicular volume and also seminal volume, but it works in the Leydig cells that increase intratesticular testosterone, and this matures the sperm. Now, clomiphene messes up the mood, messes up the sex drive because it's elevated also SHBG. Now, when we use clomid is because we have deficiency of HCG, but yet still, HCG is the real deal. Clomiphene kicks the brain, HCG kicks the ball, and this is the real stuff.
Wow, sure. Yeah, we hear a lot about guys, they tell us they're using clomid and HCG, but...
There's no need for both. There's no need for both.
Yeah, you say it almost every week, the SERMs, you alternate. You have them use...
Yeah, but listen, what I was telling you about was about the PCT protocol. First, you kick the ball, then you kick the brain, okay, and the final result is elevated testosterone. But not during TRT. During testosterone use, you need the HCG to avoid the atrophy of the balls.
Gotcha.
There's no need to put clomid on.
Okay. This one says, Dr. O'Connor just did a tremendous video on DHB. First of all, I don't even know what that is. Do you?
Hydroboldenone. I never use that stuff.
Oh, boldenone. Wow. So what is your opinion on the compound? Also, if the androgen receptor saturation theory is true, Okay, that's a different question. So do you have no
Yeah, I've
opinion?
never used that, the hydroboldenone, okay? Just use Equipos or boldenone and the cyclamate in my life.
Okay.
It's a very slow steroid. It's a little bit step further than deca. It's more clear than deca, less androgenic, more androgenic, less anabolic than deca.
Okay. So the
But
second
people
part,
prefer this instead of the real deal, which is a deca.
I don't know. I mean, I've never even. I've been around steroids a very long time. I've never even heard of it. Maybe I'm just ignorant. But the second part of his question was also, if the androgen receptor saturation theory is true, wouldn't it take more and more over time of a higher dose of TRT to achieve the same effect?
All right. Well, okay. This thought has a point. Okay. The point is with TRT we don't abuse. All right. We don't use massive doses that may saturate the receptors. Yet there are people who claim that after a couple of years within testosterone, you don't feel this as good as when you started.
Right.
You know, the transition from low testosterone to eugonal state is something remarkable, like the one who has fainted and you give him sugar and is resurrected from the death.
Yeah.
That's why when you introduce HCG, okay, to increase some intratesticular testosterone, I think there is no down regulation of the androgen receptors because there is a certain amount that we need, 100 milligrams, 150 more. Now, if you use more, it acts like a cycle. So after a couple of weeks, you don't feel the same and you need more and more. So I believe amorgitalis is the same. Now, in order to shut off the androgen receptor in the prostate, we give a massive dose, okay? And during the massive dose, then it's occupied the receptors. When we stop using them, they open up and search for more androgen. So I think it has to do with the dose. Okay, using a moderate DRT dose will not saturate the receptors, you know?
Yeah.
That's my theory.
If that were true, I mean, because most guys are on 100 to 200 milligrams a week. If it was true about the androgen receptors, leading to a higher need for higher dose, then everybody would eventually have to bump up their dose.
Yeah, we don't use DRT for muscle gains. We have to know it's to think well, to make love well, to be lean and to be optimistic and not to be jacked necessarily. You cannot have 20 inches arm with TRT, okay?
You do.
It's just 18, but you can beat the average who's lousy and hypogonadic.
Yeah, true. All right. We talked about blood donation last time. This guy says, "Hello, doc. Can I donate blood to lower my cholesterol, or is it only for hemoglobin?"
Or just for hemoglobin. Come on.
Now, if you
want to get rid of some substance, it's a good idea.
Yeah, but your cholesterol wouldn't. How would that even? I'm trying to think. How would that even work? It wouldn't, right? Yeah. I mean, that would be the easiest way. Just get some phlebotomy every few weeks.
If they set you for some pot or some weed, go for the phlebotomy too. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Here's another growth hormone question. We get at least one every week. What's a good dose of HGH for overall health and anti-aging? 1.5 or 2 IUs? What's the optimum dose for a man? I'm 47, work out 5 times per week, mostly 1 hour fasted cardio in the morning and 2 or 3 weight training sessions per week for health and longevity. I'm not a bodybuilder. Using pharmaGrade Omnitrope Sandoz, 5 grams over 1/2 ml. I don't know what that is.
I think 2 IUs are fair enough.
2 IUs, yeah. I mean, typically that's the people prescribe. It's widely prescribed here by TRT clinics, anti-aging clinics, and I don't hear anybody getting more than 2 IUs a day. But then they also try to give you this.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, if you want to cycle, you've said it before, you want to get muscle out of growth, you need to take a minimum of what, like 8 IUs a day?
It's not healthy, Ron. It's not healthy.
No. But you can never make the Olympia stage. Anyway. Oh, that's awful. Okay, the next one is, unless one is a hyper responder to testosterone in the 250 to 600 milligram per week range, is it best to just accept reality and stay away from other compounds, revert to a TR protocol and get the best out of it, and leave chemical enhancement to the genetic elite?
Can you please explain me that, because I cannot get it. What does it mean?
Yeah, I guess they want to know, unless you see awesome results for testosterone, if you do, then it's okay for you to use other compounds. But if not, Should you just forget about it and go back to your? I guess basically, if you don't get great results from just testosterone, is it worth trying other compounds, adding it on, or you're just never going to get great results?
I think stacking more compounds is better. Of course, it's more benefit. Besides, testosterone is anabolic, but mainly it's an androgenic. But we have pure anabolics that increase the muscle tissue. You can stack a different variety of anabolics, but take it easy. Do not increase more than totally, let's say, between 500 and 1,000 milligrams per week. It's a lot,
Yeah, I mean,
totally all the compounds,
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing like, let's try to break that, like 400 test, I don't know, 300 primobolan, 200 tren or something. Yeah, we're not going to tell people to take tren, but yeah, 1,000 grams. That's a pretty decent amount for a regular person.
Yeah.
We hear about people using like 5-6 grams, but my God, that's.
The point is where to put all that oil. Where does it go? Dude,
I mean, I ran out of spots long ago. I had to start using my lats just for TRT because my glutes they're all scar tissue. I don't like doing my shoulders because there's scar tissue in there and you can see it if you start. It's just, yeah, you run out of spots. It's exactly what you're saying. Last question. The doctor said once that the most anabolic stack would contain test suspension. How many injections per day would be good? And is a 0.60 by 32 millimeter needle big enough? And then
I think it has a half-life of 24 hours, so it clears the system within a day.
Okay.
So I think once before your workout is enough.
Yeah. So do you need a larger gap?
Before we hit this stage, before leaving home to go to the show, in order to harden up, but still you need anti-agjng because it can aromatize in a high dose within a few hours. Yeah. And I've noticed that I injected 400 milligrams at once of suspension, and my one nipple was swollen, even though I was taking 200 mg a day.
Wow, crazy. That is crazy.
I'm hypersensitive.
So when you use suspension, do you need a larger gauge needle? Like I know some people use insulin.
Yeah, because the particles cannot pass through, and if you use an insulin syringe, there's no way you can inject it; it will blow. Yeah. Also, it's to stir it, to shake it really abruptly, fast. The whistle is much easier, but this suspension, come on, like tiny rocks.
Yeah. I saw Winstrol. I've used Winstrol tabs. I've never injected Winstrol in my life for some reason.
It's like very smooth, but the suspension, come on.
It looks like milk, from what I remember. It looked like milky, with little chunks in it, little crystals. Didn't seem like something you should be injecting in your body. This guy had one second part to the question. Is Dbol a better choice than Oxy? And I think he means oxymethylone, anadrol.
Well, I think it's more important to use oxymethylone 50 milligrams in one tablet, Yeah. Dianabol, you can break it down, let's say 3 times a day. Yeah. But I think more hardcore is the oxymethylone, even though from chemical point of view, it's not supposed to aromatize alone itself because it's derivative.
Really?
I've heard of 100 milligrams of Dianabol. I've heard of 600 milligrams of oxymethylone.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used both. I don't notice any difference between Dianabol and anadrol. To me, they feel exactly the same. I don't know about you.
Well, definitely Dianabol aromatizes a lot and gives you glycogen retention. Now, theoretically, a monotherapy of oxymethylone should aromatize, but who uses it itself? Only in medicine.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
But I heard stories that people who swallow anadrol, they have horrible cramps in stomach and cannot eat well.
Yeah.
It messes up the appetite, in the digestion, and this is something that sucks during the off season.
Yeah, I think you hear about anadrol, but for me it's like Dianabol does the same thing after a couple weeks. To me, any oral after a couple weeks, the appetite starts getting crushed. It becomes harder and harder to eat. You just start feeling like a little nauseated.
The pills messes up the intestinal flora, and you cannot digest well.
Yeah, cool. Well, that is all the questions for this one. We're going to record one more because the doctor is so good about never missing an episode, guys. If he's going on vacation, doesn't matter. He always makes sure we get them done. So you guys
never. 240. 240.
This is 240. Yeah, wow. It's a super heavy.
At 250, we're going to hit 5 years.
Oof. Yeah, wow. Where does the time go, Doc? Where does the time go?
Quite a milestone.
Wow. Yeah. So, guys, if you have questions for the next episode, please leave them in the comments below, or just leave comments in general. We like your feedback, of course. Check out those books. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, turn on your notifications, both here on YouTube and on your phone. We're very, very lucky every week to have a medical doctor who's also a champion bodybuilder answer all your questions about anything you want to know that's related to bodybuilding. He's here for you, and God, you guys are lucky. We're lucky. So thank you so much, Doctor. We appreciate it. Yeah, and that's it. I'll see you. I'm going to be seeing you in, well, we talk one more time before that, but we're getting excited about seeing you in real life again.
Next Friday, the semifinal, the pre-judging.
Yeah.
In 2 days, the Olympics in 2 days or in 2 days, right?
Yeah. So Friday night's the judging and Saturday night's the finals. Yeah. Yeah, but there's 2 days and they're starting like the amateur Olympia Tuesday of next week. You know that? So it goes like all week, the Olympia. The amateur Olympia, then the Olympia, everything. It's a long, long week. But this is our Super Bowl. This is what we're here for. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, guys, for watching Ask Dr. Testosterone. We'll see you right here again next time. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.